Hello you two and welcome to today's RE lesson, and we'll be looking at the question, what story is special for Jewish people in the Torah? So what do you already know about the Torah? Do you remember last week we had a look at the Torah scrolls, which had the writing in it, and the Yat, which was the silver pointy finger to follow along as they were reading it. And there are many stories in the Torah, and today we're going to look at the story of Moses. So I will read this as we go along and follow the pictures on the slides. So the children of Israel were slaves in a country called Egypt. So you can see here in the picture there's people working and they were slaves. Moses was born, and this is the character that we're looking at today, Moses, and his mother was worried for his safety. So she placed him in a basket and floated it on the Nile. So you can see in the picture there, that's Moses as a baby, and he's been put in a basket that will float along the river. Miriam, which was Moses' sister, saw Pharaoh's daughter rescue and adopt Moses. So there's Moses. He's now being found by Pharaoh, who was in charge, Pharaoh's daughter, and he was cared for by her. And we've got Miriam in the picture looking at Moses, her brother, being found. Miriam suggested that Moses' real mother should help to bring him up. So Moses was adopted by this lady in the picture, but also had his mum helping him grow up. So when Moses was older, an adult, he ran away from Egypt and became a shepherd. One day he saw a burning bush. God's voice came from the bush. Moses had to take his shoes off because this was holy ground. God told Moses to go back to Egypt and rescue the children of Israel from slavery. So Moses was told by God to go and rescue those slaves that were working in Egypt. So Moses went back to try and convince Pharaoh who's in charge, to let the children of Israel go free, so to let the slaves go free. This was a very hard job, and God had to help Moses by sending plagues, and in the end Pharaoh set the children of Israel free. So this is them leaving. They escaped from Egypt and crossed the Red Sea. So this is the Red Sea here being parted. Now, what do you think of that story? How did it make you feel? How would the children of Israel have felt when they left Egypt and crossed the Red Sea? I think they would have felt quite relieved and happy and safe. And this is such an important story in the Torah for Jewish people that they have a special festival every year to remember it. That way, every single year, Jewish people remember how God helped Moses to free them from Egypt. But there's actually a little bit more to the story. So a little while after the children of Israel crossed the Red Sea, so after the slaves were free, God gave them some rules to live by. And there were many rules, but there was a very important set of 10 rules called the 10 Commandments. So we have the 10 Commandments here. For example, one of these rules is do not steal, and another one is do not lie. So these were important rules that taught them how to live. So what teachings of Jesus have we learnt about in the Bible so far? So that was a story in the Torah. We're now looking at the Bible. So we've looked at the story of the lost sheep, where the shepherd went and looked for the sheep that he had lost. And we've learnt about Jesus' teachings about how to treat each other. So both the Torah and the Bible have stories in, and they both also have teachings in about how to treat other people. And do you know where else we can find the story of Moses? There's a big clue on the screen. We can find it in the Bible. So just like the story of David and Goliath is in the Torah and the Bible, the story of Moses is also in the Torah and the Bible. And both of these holy books also have teachings in them about how to treat other people. So we looked at the story of Moses today, and your task is to create this story however you would like to. So you could make a model of Moses on the river, you could make the 10 Commandments tablet, you could act out the story and take a picture or video and send it to us, You could write the story out, or you could draw pictures for the story. It's up to you, but we'd love to see your way of creating that story that we've learnt about today. Okay, good luck. Look forward to seeing it.